Hello everybody, this is the second lesson of course number 1, foundation level.
1. And the lesson it's about
What is computer? I'm going to ask you what is computer, and in future I ask you what is programming. I don't want you to go to write everything on your note and trying to memorize it. No, it's not work like this in the tech world. In the programming and technology, you should to understand the concept. You should to understand the concepts and try to understand everything. You will get it in this roadmap, because tomorrow as developer, when the recruiter, interviewer ask you, you should to, remember it or retrieve it to your brain as a concept, not as a something you write it on your note and now I forget it. No, it's not like this, because as a human and this field has a lot of information, for sure you will forget a huge information of this field. But if you understand it, even if it's disappear from your mind for a while now, but if somebody asks you and try to remember you, what is this, you can retrieve it very fast because you understand the concepts. For that, I have also a course in the end of the roadmap, how to use AI as a developer, because we as a developer, we all the time say something new and there is a lot of information around us. Of course we will forget, as developer, as human, of course we will forget this information. But when we need it to apply it in our field,
future projects.
we need to know how to ask the correct question to the AI and retrieve or get the correct answer to ourselves. So let us jump now and see what is computer. So what is computer, do you think? Computer is an electric device. What are you expecting from me? It's an electric device. That's it. Computer is an electric device. So computer has functions. Computer has functions. What are computer functions? All right, let's see the functionalities of computer. Functionalities of computer are 5. First one, it's input data. Second one, it's store data or instructions, which mean we take the input, we store it, we input the data, we take it, and we store the data. And when we want it, when we used to require it, the computer process it for us. Step number 3, process the data. Computer process it for us. Why he process it for us? To give us output information. The step number 4, or functionally number 4. So we have input data, store data, process data, and output information. And number 5, control all previous steps. This is the functionality of computer. And now let us jump to the components of computer. What are the components of computer? Computer components are 2, and everybody know it. And if there's somebody doesn't know it, I will be crazy. The components of computer are software and hardware. Everybody knows software and hardware. Let's start with software. What is the software? Software is like computer program instructions and data. Anything intangible, anything you cannot touch it. Like what? Like system software and application software. System software like what? Like operating systems, Windows, Mac OS, Linux, Unix, DOS, Androids. And application software like Microsoft Office, Photoshop, browsers, and etc. etc. So this is the software. And hardware components, it's like collection of physicals, elements, tangible objects, anything you can touch it, tangible objects. Like what? Like computer cases, keyboard, monitor, speaker, motherboard, CPU, hard drive, printer, computer mouse, RAM. All of these things are hardware. So now let's take computer units. Computer has some units. Computer has 5 units. First one, it's input. Second one, it's output. Third one, it's primary memory. And fourth one is secondary storage. And fifth one, it's control processing. We'll explain them now one by one, step by step. Let's start with the input. Computer units input is any devices that provides data or signal to computer. Anything that you input it to computer by Bluetooth, wireless, USB, like joystick, keyboard, printer, computer mouse, camera, touch screen and pen, mic, all of these inputs, units inputs, computer units inputs. Any devices that provides data or signal to computer. Second units of the computer, it's units outputs. Any devices used to bring results. From the previous units inputs, some of them, when we input them, they give us outputs, some information. They bring us results. Like what? Like monitor, printer, speaker that you heard me now from it, a monitor that you see me now from it. This is units, computer units outputs. Number three, it's computer units primary memory. It's primary memory. Primary memory like RAM and ROM. RAM stands for random access memory. When you download a game, let me give you a small example. When you download a game or small application and you're trying to open it for the first time after you installed it, it takes time to open the game or any application. Why? Because its instructions still not stored in the RAM. But if you close it and try to open it again, it will open more faster than the first time or previous time. Why? Because its instructions already stored in the RAM. But the RAM, unfortunately, it's temporary, which means if you turn off your computer or the battery finish or anything happened to computer and shut down, all the information or all these instructions are deleted. It will be deleted. But the ROM, it's read-only memory, which means it's permanent memory. What's mean permanent memory? When your computer it's off and you're trying to turn it on and you go to press the button of power, how the computer know to turn on the computer now? The instructions while the computer is off. Why? Because these instructions of the button of the power, it's stored in the ROM forever. It's stored in the ROM all the time, permanent. For that, these instructions or the important instructions, always we keep it or we save it in the ROM. And ROM stands for read-only memory. And units number 4 is secondary storage. Like what? Like store data parentally, like hard drive, flash memory, memory card, hard disk. All these things is computer units secondary storage. And units number 5 is CPU. CPU is responsible for all functions and process. CPU, this is the CPU. CPU, it stands for Central Process Units and known as a microprocessor or processor. CPU, it contains from what? It contains from something we called it transistors. CPU, as you saw it, is so small on screen, but it's really the hub or it's control everything, and it's so important piece in a computer. Do you think how many transistor has in the CPU? As hundreds of millions or even billions of transistors CPU contains. What is the transistor? Transistor is binary switch. We will understand and we will take in the next lesson, after this lesson, binary system and understand it totally, and don't worry about it to understand what is the binary system. So transistor is binary switch, prevents or allows electricity, and we said the computer is an electric device, and CPU, it has transistors or contains from transistors, and transistors, it prevents or allows electricity, like this 0 or 1, off or on. Off, it's not allow electricity. On, allowed electricity. So this is the CPU. It's contained from transistors. And the CPU, it has 3 main elements: ALU, arithmetic logic unit, control units, and cache and register. Don't worry, we'll explain them now step by step. So this is the CPU, and we have here in the center the control element. It's control everything: input, output, secondary memory, primary memory, cache, register, ALU. And the ALU is responsible for anything has math or need math in computer or comparing between two things. The arithmetic logic unit, it's responsible for division, addition, comparing between two things. And as we said before, the secondary memory is slower than the RAM because the secondary memory, it's permanent storage, or you can store the instruction in it for a long time or always in your computer. But primary memory, It's faster than the secondary memory, but it's temporary. After you shut down or turn off your computer, everything, it will disappear. But there is something more faster than the memory, than the RAM. It's called cache. And cache, it has three levels: level 1, level 2, level 3. And there is also something more faster than the cache. It's called register. Now we'll explain them and how the CPU access to the memory. So CPU access to that memory. How CPU access to the memory? We have, as you see, memory types, and we have the CPU up. So first thing, secondary storage permanent is the hardest. It's slow access to the data. If you don't have RAM, which access data much faster, it will be the computer, it will reach the information or the data more slower. So the RAM is more faster than the hard disk, and it's access to data much faster. But we have more faster than the RAM, which is a cache. Cache, it has three levels, as we said, and it's semi-instantly available data. And we have more faster than the cache, it's register. Register is instantly available data. That's how the CPU reach the data. We have secondary storage, primary storage, cache, and register. Primary storage, cache, register, these three things, faster than the hard disk, but temporary, and it will be deleted any time you turn off your computer or something happened to your computer and shut down suddenly. So let us jump now to the last but not least, it's graphics processing unit. Graphics processing unit, everybody know it, GPU. GPU stands for graphics processing unit. You will also see GPU known as a graphics card or video card. But it's not graphic card, it's only part of it. That's true. When we say I want GPU or I want stronger GPU, it's not the graphics card or the video card. The GPU, it's just part from the video card. This is the graphics card. Hold this picture, hold this small motherboard, it's the graphics card, and GPU is just part of it. And you have HDMI, interface, power connect, memory, and you have a lot of things on the video card. That was for the lesson of today. And if you don't understand anything, you can reach me on Telegram channel. I will put the link down below, and I will try to make it clear for you. So see you next lesson, guys, in binary system. Ciao.